If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, hi, my name is Kimmy. So the purpose of today, I actually have not vlogged in quite a while. Not really for any reason. I feel like last week was really busy and I just didn't have time. Today's Sunday. I never vlog on a Sunday, but I figured today was a good day to do a little Sunday reset. I feel like I just need one, and I just feel like I need a little reset. Our house is a little out of order. As you know, that happens when you're very busy, and so I just want to kind of get things in order. Now, when I do Sunday resets, I love watching this kind of content, but I always feel like I watch them and I'm like, I don't have time to do all of that in one day. It would take me like 2 weeks to do what one person does in their Sunday reset. So as a mom, I'm very realistic about my time, especially when it comes to doing like Sunday resets or resets in general. I'm very realistic with my time, and I don't have a lot of time to kill during the day to dedicate towards cleaning and organizing. I have to be flexible, and my time is accounted for. So when I do a Sunday reset, I like to choose like one area of my house that really needs like a lot of attention and focus on that instead of focusing on decluttering and organizing like 3 parts of the house. I just choose one, and then I can always come back to it the next weekend or in like 2 weekends or something to another spot in the house. So today we're gonna focus on doing the fridge. I'm not gonna go grocery shopping because I don't do that anymore, but we do get our groceries delivered, which I know is like a huge privilege. So I'm going to walk you through how I meal plan and my meal prep plan, and I'll show you kind of like what we have in the fridge, but it really needs like a serious clean out because I feel like it's been a little while since I did that. And then I want to dedicate some time today to journal about my goals and stuff. I did that in like a recent Sunday reset video, I feel like a few videos back, but I feel like I want to do that again today. And then I want to do like a couple meal prep things. I want to meal prep a granola. And then I actually forgot that I wrote down a little list of things that I wanted to do today. So I want to prep a granola, clean the fridge, place our grocery order, create a meal plan, and create my work plan for the week. And then I need to get some laundry done. Oh, I wanted to prep a juice. And then I need to juice some lemons for my morning lemon water, because I love to do that because it makes it so easy. Instead of like cutting the lemon like I did today because I ran out yesterday, I cut up a bunch of lemons, juice them all at once, and then I freeze them into ice cube trays so I can just pop them into a mug in the morning. And it just makes my morning so much more seamless. And then I want to prep some overnight oats for tomorrow. So just a few things, and those meal prep things are very quick. I don't have time to do a huge meal prep. So anyway, but before we do that, we're gonna go have some fun because it is still the weekend and we're gonna go to Splash Pad. I will see you when we get back. All right, Splash Pad was fun. Now we're gonna clean the fridge is first on the agenda. I'm gonna try and get this done in like 20 minutes. Let me show you the before. It's not terrible, but it definitely needs to be wiped down and cleaned out because there's a lot of food that I'm sure is like no good anymore. So here is our before. I also like love watching like before and afters of like, close this, of certain parts of people's homes, because you get to see like the transformation from like something that was like chaotic and then cleaned and organized to clean. I use Branch Basics, their all-purpose spray. It's what I use to clean in the fridge. Something non-toxic, especially around like where you're keeping food or even like the surface that like you eat off of. I think it's really important to use something that's non-toxic, and this is a really good brand that I really like. So we are getting rid of quite a lot of expired and even soda waters. Like, don't forget those expire, because I didn't realize. And yeah, we're just getting rid of a lot of stuff. Very satisfying. So we keep all of our milks, coffee, coconut water down there, then all the yogurts and kids pouches up here. I do all the pickled sauerkraut, olives, like all that stuff up there. And this is the part that I feel like is so satisfying, because nothing is here except for hummus. And this is where we keep all our sauces, mayo, ketchup. And then this is where I kind of keep like random stuff, like any nut butters, tahini, miso. And then we have leftovers still from like last night. I got rid of a ton of like, we actually didn't have a ton of like leftovers in the fridge. I feel like sometimes when I do this, there's like stuff stuffed in the back of the fridge. This time we only had last night's leftovers and a couple other things. Balls, berries, just eggs. There's like nothing even in here. I barely drink soda water anymore, but that's usually where we keep it. Juice boxes, and then any like fruit and whatnot. And then vegetables I keep on this side, and then fruit on this side. I didn't even go through this because I actually did this recently, but this is where we keep all our fruit and citrus. We have a lot of citrus right now. In the vegetable compartment, I always put down a towel, and I feel like it helps to keep the vegetables like fresher, and so that way they're not sitting in any like water or humidity or anything. It also like keeps it cleaner, because then I can just like take out the towel instead of having to wash this area out, because a lot of like the greens and stuff get stuck in there. So this just makes it a lot easier. And then down here is where we keep all Bobby's meats, cheeses, tofu, any like plant-based protein we put over there, and then tortillas. And that's all that we have in the fridge. So tomorrow I'm gonna do a restock. So I feel like today is going to be just like clean out the fridge meals. So we're gonna do some egg wraps. We have like 3 eggs in here. So I'm gonna make one for myself and Gavin. And then Augie will just usually have fruit. And then I made some hummus, and I set aside some without the salt. And Augie loves this, so I take out some hummus before I add the salt, and he's been liking this. So I usually give him this with some fruit. So Gavin will just do avocado and egg on these wraps, and then I'm gonna do tomato, and then I have some spinach that I'll put on mine. So that's what we're having today. Cleaning out the fridge is like one of my favorite tasks to do. It did take me a little bit longer than like I wanted to, but I'm happy that I did it. And it's something that I always recommend in my health and wellness coaching programs. Like the very first task that I always recommend to my one-on-one coaching clients and in my programs is to clean out your fridge and your pantry. And I do have a specific way of like organizing the fridge and the pantry, especially if you have others in your household that eat different than you. I do have a specific way of organizing those areas, so it allows you to eat healthier. But anyway, it's one of the first tasks that I always recommend, because it is like literally wiping the slate clean. It's always best to start with like a fresh, clean space. I need to do my pantry. Maybe I'll do that like next Sunday. Your mindset is everything when it comes to eating healthier, building a healthier lifestyle. You need a strong, positive mindset and a clean, organized space that is not filled with, you know, expired, stale, moldy foods or whatnot. You know, that's not inspiring. An inspiring space looks clean and organized and fresh and ready for a new routine, a new phase of your life, if you want to make shifts, I definitely recommend starting with organizing your space. It really does something to your mindset and gets you ready, especially when you're ready to like hit the reset button or start a new wellness routine. It really like sets the tone and gets you ready, gets going. And like cleaning out your fridge, starting with a fresh, clean slate, getting it ready to bring in some fresh, beautiful produce and some healthy foods, you know, it really makes a difference. I'm also gonna have this watermelon too. Down there. Here's our eggy wrap. Nothing fancy. I'm gonna do some hot sauce. Just like a local brand, but this one is really good. And yeah, this is lunch. So I think I always say this like in every vlog, but the only time that I can get any stuff done on my phone, like work stuff and like making the plans and whatnot, I can only do that when the boys are napping. So this is my time to get things done. And on Sundays, I try not to plan too many like work things into the 2 hours that I have to myself, so I can leave room for planning for the week, because I feel like planning makes a huge difference for everything. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, is what I always remind myself, and I feel like it's a good reminder with your health and wellness routine. I think it's important to plan out your recipes, plan out your meals for the week, plan out your workouts for the week. That is something that I really need to start getting back into doing, because I do think that makes a huge difference, especially where I'm getting up earlier now. I want to make sure that I'm taking away any guesswork in the morning and just having a plan in place. So I'm going to do that now, but we're doing our meal plan first, and I'm going to walk you through kind of how I do it. It's nothing crazy, but I do plan out my meals and snacks and everything. So I always start with like, so for what I do for work does involve creating like recipes. I'm in the middle of creating an ebook. I have a meal plan that I'm creating that will be out soon. Not very soon, but eventually. And so I'm working on those recipes. So I do have those planned in the meal plan to have. So I don't have to do a ton of like searching for recipes, but once I have all the meals that I'm doing for my ebook, recipes that I'm creating for like Instagram, I will start to browse Pinterest for some ideas. And I don't really follow a lot of recipes because I do like to get creative and cook on my own. It's like one of my favorite things to do. I just love being in the kitchen, clearly, because we're always in my kitchen. But I do like to scroll on Pinterest and just search for some fun, healthy meal ideas and jot those down. And then once I have them all written down in a notebook, I will go on and place my grocery order. I do order online, and I feel like it makes a big difference. I use Thrive Market for a lot of like pantry items, and then I'll use Whole Foods for our regular groceries like produce and stuff. And I feel like shopping online, if you can, if you're able to, it one makes life so much easier, especially if you're a busy mom and you just like get into the grocery store it's hectic. So I feel like that takes a lot of stress out, and it also takes a lot of stress out of like healthy eating as well. And I also feel like it helps you eat healthier, because sometimes when you're at the store and those foods are like right in front of you, you know, the chips, the ice cream, all those fun treats, the ones that are not so healthy, when they're right in front of you, it's very easy to gravitate towards them. It's very easy to just grab them, put them in your cart, bring them home. And when you are shopping online, I feel like it's much easier to filter out what you don't necessarily want to be eating. I also feel like it's a great way to save money, because you can see how much you're buying before you check out. Where when you're shopping at the grocery store, unless you're like writing things down, it's really hard to like keep track of how much you're spending, what you're buying. And this is also a great way to minimize waste, because you won't be buying unnecessary amounts, and you can also see deals easier. So Anyway, that's just how I do it. And then on Monday, we'll have it delivered. So tomorrow we'll have it delivered, and then I can wash everything, put it away in the fridge, and then I can do a little meal prep. So that's something else. After I finish putting the grocery order, then I will write down any meal prep that I need to do, and then when. Because I don't do it all in one day. I'll do it like throughout the week. And sometimes I do it as I'm making a meal. I'll just batch prep something. So if a meal has like quinoa in it that I'm making like tomorrow, and if there's other meals throughout the week that we're having quinoa with, I will just make a big batch, and that way we'll have a bunch. Or I'll even freeze the quinoa and then use it at a later time, like next week or something. So that is how I go about doing this meal planning. So I'm gonna finish up making my meal plan and then do my grocery list, plan my workouts, and then I'm gonna journal my goals for the week. So we're gonna do our little meal prep. I have most of our ingredients out. We're gonna start with the granola. While the granola bakes, we're going to prep the oats and our skin glowing juice. So I have some coconut oil melting already on the stovetop, and I'm gonna add the oats to the bowl. Doing like a coconut and pecan granola. I feel like that would be really yummy. Put some yogurt bowls this week. Coconut. I'm just gonna crush up some pecans. Salt. I love this vanilla bean powder. I will link it below. I just got it off Amazon. And you just add a little bit. It's not like vanilla extract, so you use like a fourth of the amount that you would with vanilla extract. And then I like to lightly sweeten, so I'm just gonna do a few tablespoons of maple syrup. And then I'm gonna add the coconut oil right on top. Everyone's making noises behind me. Ceylon cinnamon is like the creme de la creme of cinnamon. It is so good, and it has like the most benefits. Also, it's great for digestion. It has some sneaky benefits, so gotta add that in because gut health is everything for your entire well-being, including like glowing skin. Our mixture, and I'm just gonna put it in the oven for just a few minutes. I make this for me and the boys to have for breakfast because it makes my life so much easier. And I'm going to use date syrup to sweeten. Then for protein, instead of using protein powder, I use hemp seeds and chia seeds. Oats have a little bit of protein too, so it is protein rich, but it's also super fiber rich. And we're adding almond milk. This is just an unsweetened almond milk. That just took like 5 minutes to prep this. And of course, because I took my time telling you about the ingredients, it probably would have taken a little bit less, so probably like 3 minutes to make this. And then you just stick it in the fridge and breakfast is ready for tomorrow. And then we'll add some berries on top. You can even add a little bit of the granola for crunch, but usually we just do berries, banana, and I'll do like pumpkin seed butter, which is really good. Lastly is our skin glowing juice. We're gonna do carrots, cucumber, lemon, and all of these. It is not the most beautiful color, but it's full of nutrients, and this will probably last like 3 or 4 days maybe. The last little like part of our reset, I've had a very productive day. There's like still stuff that like I want to do and that I need to do, like laundry. I only got around to doing 1 load, and I still have to put it in the dryer, and I'm gonna have to fold it. But I want to do a little scalp detox. I've actually been washing my hair a lot lately because we've been in the water a lot, which I normally only wash my hair like a couple times a week, but I feel like I've been washing it like every day lately. I like using this from Acton Acre. I've been using this for quite a few years and I really like it. I'm not consistent with it. I was for a while, but with 2 kids, you know, everything is so different. Like my time to be able to do things is just so much less. So like my beauty care, like I no longer do like long hair masks or, you know, long face masks. Everything is so quick. So anyway, I'm gonna do this before I give Augie his bath and after I put him down for bed, then I'll wash my hair and everything. We're all clean. Let me show you what I used on my skin. We'll save hair care for another day because my hair care routine, I feel like, is one that I never switch up. So I'll share that in another video, but for now, let's just show you skincare. So, I mean, clearly I love this C serum from Osea. It's a hyaluronic serum. I really like this serum. That's one that I definitely always come back to. And then on top of that, I do mine a little bit different. You're supposed to do moisturizer and then your oils. I prefer to do my oils and then moisturizer on top. That's just me. It's how I've always done it. And I know it's not like the correct way, but that's just how I like to do it. So this is another product that I've gone through quite a few bottles. I think I shared that I did like the skin reset with the Sea Buckthorn Best Skin Ever serum. It's a cleanser moisturizer, not serum. It's from Living Libations. I shared that I did like a skin reset where I put nothing on my skin. I think it was like back in March, and I literally didn't use makeup, didn't wash with anything else. I just did oil cleansing and then moisturizing with this oil. And I didn't notice a huge difference, although it cleared up my dry skin. So sometimes I'll wash my face at night, and then other times I'll just oil cleanse. It depends on what I have on my skin. If I'm just barefaced or if I just have SPF, I'll probably just oil cleanse. And I feel like that has helped so much because I had really dry skin and then now it's like gone. And I'll save like the washing for a day when I wear like makeup or something. So I love that. I go through that like crazy because I cleanse with it and moisturize with it. And then on top of that, I do the Summer Fridays Heavenly 16 all-in-one face oil, which I really like. And you only need like a couple drops of it, so it lasts you a while. And then for eye cream, I love the Summer Fridays Vitamin C Peptide Eye Cream. I would like to find a good one for nighttime that's a little bit heavier, but this one is fabulous for daytime because it gives you a little bit of a shimmer like under your eye, so it's really nice for during the day. But again, I would like to find one for like a sleep one. And then moisturizer, I really like this one because it's light, but it's still moisturizing. It's from Osea as well. And I have a discount code for Osea products. You'll get 10% off. I'll pop that below in the description. And I'll also link all of these products as well. Then on my body, I use these from Osea. Clearly I'm obsessed because they're almost out. This is the hyaluronic body serum and the body oil. Now, I was skeptical about a body serum at first, but then I started using it, and everything, like your oil that you put on after, glides on, and your skin is so much more moisturized with this than with just oil. I was using just the oil, and I didn't notice like a huge difference in my skin until I started pairing these together. And that's pretty much all that I use on my skin at night. I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thanks for hanging out with me and doing the Sunday reset with me. And let me know if you wanna see like more videos like this. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.